What's up, everyone? Eric here again, Traveling Trading. So, wanted to just kind of go over this trade today here that I took and kind of break this down for you guys because I know a lot of you were asking me, like in the chat room, and just kind of messaging me along with you guys making your profits. Glad you guys are banking. That's great. Um, Definitely appreciate the love and support too. Um, but honestly, it's all you guys. All I can do is just kind of show you how I do things and what to look for and just some kind of basic things to help you become a better trader. But ultimately, you're doing the good work too. So definitely don't forget to pat yourself on the back, reward yourself because you earned it. You know, it is hard work to day trade and it's not easy. And those of you that are sticking around doing it, kudos to you because trust me, not many people can do this. And again, you just got to like what you do. And today is a fine example of what I like to do, what we do. I mean, I pretty much made someone's salary in like 4 hours, you know, which is crazy. It's an 80K gain today with trading tops. This thing has gone over 900%. Spectacular. I just messaged you guys in the group in the chat alerts, like, hey, take your profits, wrap it up, call it a day. Do not be greedy. Um, you know, another day will come. Okay. And this is why we be due diligent with this. And guys, I wanted to make this video real quick just because I wanted to touch on how just plain simple things can make your trades be, great. And for me in this trade here, it wasn't about like getting alerted early. It wasn't about having the perfect strategy. This trade I made here specifically was purely off of great risk management and identifying where I'm at in the market and what's going on today. Because I'll be honest with you, today was a slow day. It wasn't super slow. It was like below average, but not super slow like it's been recently. I did make two trades today. Both of them were green. First one was CFRX, and we'll touch on that in a second. The problem with that trade was nothing. I did that exactly the way I was supposed to do it. It was in pre-market. My entries was on point, great risk management there, and then my exit was on point. And you'll see here in a second. Now with this trade here with top, I had no idea had predicted like, oh, it was going to do that. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say, oh yeah, I knew it was going to do that. No, I didn't. And just putting the things in place that I teach you guys in the course just kind of helps you become like more of a trader and be able to maximize your profits as much as possible. But again, just on risk management alone, this trade was nailed here for me because I wasn't expecting it to be this much of a gain. But we'll kind of break down the details of my thought process behind that as I'm going through this trade, okay? But let's first touch on CFRX and how I did this trade. So again, I got in this trade at pre-market. Now, I told you guys before too, I posted in the Facebook group. For those of you that don't know, the Facebook group is completely free. All I do is ask you to like, follow, subscribe on the YouTube channel, just so that it gets more awareness for other people who do like to day trade and want to actually, discuss trading and stuff like that. That's it. That's all it takes to get into the group. It's not that hard. Of course, I have to filter out bots and stuff like that. But yeah, in the Facebook group, I said the night before, as I post the recaps of the following day. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up here. Yesterday was a slow day in the market, but hopefully we can fix that tomorrow. Thursdays are usually hot, so hopefully the same will be, for tomorrow. Be patient, wait for your stuff. Don't jump in head first into trades. Be diligent, guys, and just let's get ready for tomorrow. That was posted Wednesday night. I said Thursdays are hot, and Thursday's been hot, and today is Thursday, and is exactly showing you how that is. Now, granted, pre-market was a little choppy, but not super like fast. I got into CFRX because it was trending up nicely in pre-market. It was one of the higher pre-market gainers. In fact, I think it was the pre-market gainer, right? Now, obviously, eyes are going to be on it. It was shortable, so I didn't want to keep too much of it. Clear little stair-stepping pattern showing right here, right? So I'm just going to manage my risk properly, and I'm glad I got in and got out. I got out right before pre-market because you guys know, those of you who take in the day trading course, know that getting out on pre-market is generally my rule of thumb, right? So of course I'm gonna maximize it to my ability. Got in, got out like right around this range here as it starts to pull back because signs were telling me that the sellers are coming in and about to get their orders executed. So why would I hold it when I'm a bullish trader? Doesn't make sense. And the fact that it's coming into the opening bell, I'm assuming it's going to drop as well too. I mean, in the beginning though, it did not do that. It started to spike up a little bit more. And I wasn't upset. I wasn't like, oh man, I'm missing out on these gains. I was like, fine. I mean, I made the choice. I'm okay with it. If it does run and it pops up to like $3, $5, man, that's gonna suck. But hey, we'll see what it does. And luckily, I stuck to my plan and stuck to my guns because look at what it did the rest of the day. CFRX just faded out, faded out, faded out. You've seen this plenty of times, right? Broken other levels of support, especially during pre-market. So yeah, I mean, but again, I got out pre-market and I said in the Facebook group when I posted it too, I think I said I'm gonna look for yeah, quick little pre-market gain, waiting for another possible entry off of the alerts if it begins to spike up again. So, you see there, I got in at $2.41 and had a little 11% gain. It was 141 bucks. Whoop-de freaking do. Not that bad. It was only 500 shares, right? So that was pretty much that. I'm gonna post my gains for top here in a second. As a matter of fact, I'll do it in this video, but I also post it on the other social media groups as well too. Whether you guys follow me on Twitter or TikTok, whatever, etc., Instagram, blah blah blah. I'll post it all in there. But that was CFRX. Okay, just a normal casual trade, quick little $100. Planned and did exactly what I did. Move on to the next one. Now the rest of the day, guys. As a matter of fact, you can see through the alerts. We had some things happening, not too much. I mean, it was kind of a slow morning. Now, obviously, you see, those were on our watch list, so we were looking at them, but nothing was really moving, right? Even with top, we were alerted at $7.62 that this thing was going to move. And of course, it did. It kept continuously hitting new high days, new high days, new high days, new high days, new high days. Other stops try to stop, but mainly top was the only thing that we were focusing on all day. And then of course Amazon, is going to release their earnings, and that's what you want to, focus on because that's one of the bigger market movers there. But that was pretty much it. So again, you had the ability to get in tops early if you wanted to at $7.62. Let me pull it up here for you real quick. Now, again, I told you guys I didn't need to be the earliest, or anything like that. Let me fix this here real quick. This is top shipping. We don't want that. I'm talking about top. Um, this trade that I executed and did well on was strictly on pure risk management. Let me show you why that was the case and what my thought process behind that. Because I assumed personally that I missed the best part of this trade. Okay, because let's take a look at what it did. Obviously, we were alerted in pre-market, $7.62 to look into this bad boy. And look, those of you who were in it, obviously, like around this range, great for you. You had this whole spike to run up, and some of you probably even took profits then. Of course, like I always say, it's good to do is wait for that little pullback. Let me try to pull this up here real quick. Wait for that little pullback so you can kind of get an idea like with the Squeeze Pro, what it looked like on the isolator version as well too. It squeezed up and pulled back. Obviously, that's the new level of support. Then it's going to start to curl up again. You guys know stocks don't go in a straight line. They go up and they go down. They go up and go down. They go up and they go down. That's how you got to understand how the stocks move, right? And each time it's doing that, it's establishing a new level of support and resistance. So if you got in this bad boy, you got in that little level of support, good for you. Mind you, I didn't get into this thing until like $16. And why is that? If you look here for the whole day, pretty much after like 9 o'clock, and you guys know like stocks around lunchtime is just going to die down and get slow, but this one spiked up and it just kind of grinded along all day. So let me give you my thought process behind this. I assumed I already missed it, but I was watching it during after hours because it was still one of the top gainers of the day. You guys know from the course what to look at when it comes to power hour. I got back in power hour, which was like, 45 minutes maybe until the bell, before the closing bell. So power hour came, right? I'm like, okay, tops is still top dog. Um, you know, highest gaining percentage of the day. EVLO, I think, was pretty decent. And then it wasn't really much moving throughout the whole market, right? So I'm still looking at tops. I'm like, man, today was a slow day. I only got the trade in pre-market. Nothing really moved during, normal hours. Lunchtime, it was dead. So I just, kind of figured like, hey, I might as well just get my hand in something just to, execute a trade and make it feel like myself. I tried. It wasn't board trading. It was carefully planned risk management trading. So I wanted to get into this trade. I was like, well, It has the most volume. If anything is going to move in power hour, I'm assuming it's probably going to be this. And if it doesn't play now, it just doesn't play now, and I can cut my loss. I'll manage it precisely. Now, my thought process behind this, guys, was around that time frame that I looked at it, which was again near power hour. So pretty much from here on out, right? Look to the left. What do you see with this stock here to the left? Now, clearly, it's not at the highs, right? The high of the day so far before all this happened was around $24. At the time that I'm looking at this thing into power hour, which is noon my time and 3 p.m. Eastern time, we are trading at like a $15 level. I'm thinking that's pretty good off the highs, but it's also not quite the lows of the days because we're right at, look, a good level of area support. This is why support and resistance does, matter a little bit. Okay. But also, too, guess what? We are still above the volume weighted average price. So even though this thing looked like it's fading down, you can't really discount that it is because of the fact that it's, still above the volume weighted average price. I don't remember if there was any news or anything like that for tops. If it was, great. I didn't really, kind of look. I was so focused on managing my risk at this point that I didn't even really have bother time to kind of look at it. Because my idea was like to try to get in between the $15, $16 level, 1650, really 1550 to 1650 was a $2 was the range that I was looking at. And I was going to tell myself like, okay, well, based on what I'm seeing here, I can withstand losses probably all the way to maybe like $10. So it was like, $12, would be one level, then, that is still a good range. So I'm knowing it's going to bounce in between this range. However, when I was doing my risk management, I wanted to come into the stock at a time either it has already pulled back and waiting to pop so I can kind of gauge a range as to what buyers might be looking at this stock, right? Because that's going to tell you where that momentum's going and how far it could go up on the upturn of the MACD or the Squeeze Pro or whatever you use. I think this instance, the Vortex indicator. I'm not going to go into those details of those stocks. You can look them up on your, or the indicators, you can look them up on your own. But I waited for that pullback and got in at the side of, that confirmation that support was there, which it was giving me here. So between this level here, support was just establishing and establishing and establishing. At this point, it just started to a continuously, trend upward. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and get in around this $16 mark. If it does pull back to 15s or even get back down a little bit lower to 14s or 13s or maybe even plummet on me, I am okay with that. I made that decision. It's power hour. I know volume will come in. Buyers will probably step in after that, especially since it's a top gainer. People are still going to look at this, right? So I got in at like 16, 17, I believe it was, whatever, the price tag was. I got in, and then all of a sudden, waiting on this wave here, and it popped up. So immediately I'm up from the $16 level down to the $18 level. Great. Then it pulls back some more, and now I'm back at break even. I'm just like, okay, that's fine. Let's just see if it does touch, the level of support that I'm thinking, or the pretty much my cutoff point where I'm going to cut my losses. It never did. Now, obviously, the last 15 minutes of power hour is really crucial. I tell you guys this all the time, and I told you in the chat, because the way the stock is going to end is going to be pretty much going to determine like what it might do after hours and also in the following morning in pre-market. So I was like, you know what? I'm okay with holding it. I got halted. It halted at the last 15 minutes. I was like, oh my goodness. But looking at level 2, it kind of demonstrated that, oh, buyers were stepping in at that point, which was great for me. So now I'm like, boom, I'm immediately up. And then it opens up in after hours. So now at this point, now depending on the broker you have, you might just be stuck with this. But luckily, I was trading through Webull, and you know we have after hours trading there, which is great. Another reason why I recommend that tool if you guys need it, the links below, blah, blah, blah. So again, your broker does make a difference. This is a prime example of why your broker makes a difference. And then all of a sudden from this point, guys, it's a free for all. As you can see, I don't need to kind of tell you what it did. It went from my $16 entry all the way up to 100 and what? Where are we at now? It's still moving after hours, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in it anymore, but this thing went all the way up to like 201. So the rest of this stuff is you just letting yourself ride the wave and really just kind of watching for, any pullback that's going to be beyond your stop loss being moved up. Because as you can either scale into something like this if you're in it at this point, or you can just, let it ride. Don't even worry about the pullbacks because you're up so much. Start skimming some profit off the top. But me, I just let it ride. I mean, again, this was a purely risk management trade. I was attempting to get out before it got halted, but it got halted. I got caught into it, and just alone, guys, because I was managing my risk, determining where I'm going to cut my losses at and get in the trade on the good turn for it to be bullish, this happened. And I didn't have a real exit strategy. I did, but I didn't. I wanted to get out like above the next highs, but I couldn't because by the time the stock, reopened there, let me pull it. So again, the highs again was like right here because I know you guys always like, well, what was your target profit take? It was at the 24. I was waiting for it to break the highs. I got in at 16. I thought that was a good level of support. Measure that risk to reward ratio. Use the tools I show you guys to use, like with, if you're longing or, whatever, right? Using this tool. So I walk you guys through that in the course and everything, but mentally, as you're doing it more often, you're going to know it. So I went in with that ideal, getting in and getting in at like the $16 level, maybe even a little bit less, and then scaling out on either a pop or the $24 mark, which was the today's high. Because of the halt and me looking at level two and seeing the movement in the stock, I decided to just, hey, let it hold, let it ride, see how far it can go. Now, obviously, of course, if it pulls back to my original stop and profit take at 24, because at this point, there's nothing I can do, it's already in there. If it pulls back to my 24 level, then I'm going to go ahead and cut it off and take my profits. But guess what? It only pulled back to 28. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if it starts to fizzle out or if it starts to die out. Here, let me just kind of put this in here so you guys can kind of get that understanding because this thing is obviously your risk reward ratio doesn't have to be like this, guys. This is just kind of showing how to use the target profit. Again, got it at that area, 16-ish. This is ideally what it would look like. But you guys will see my return. So this is kind of how you would measure that. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at a message from someone in the group chat. Give me a quick second. All right. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much what you would do there at that point. But again, no need to be greedy. Just let it ride. Let me clear this out. And here's where we at. This thing just took a life of its own. Um, but yes, but that's just it, guys. I mean, really, there's no pseudoscience, no trickery, no need to get into the alerts early. The alerts are just there to show you, what opportunities you have with what stocks to possibly move one way or another. You have movement there. Yeah, granted, a lot of times it's the ones that pop up, but you got to make that decision on how you are as a trader. You might be a short seller, you might be a buyer. Either way it goes, you have opportunity there. And this is exactly what it presented to me. That's why you still got to know trading psychology. You still got to have great risk management on top of your strategy. Alerts are not going to just tell you to get in and get out and when to do it. So this just shows you, but I'm just going to show you guys this. So, but yeah, this is how just purely risk management and having semi what of a strategy, entry and exit plan helped out. There wasn't no particular pattern I was looking for. I was just doing the power hour later today trades. I wanted to go bullish and I wanted to just grab a few dollars, but the trade was going in my way. Guess what? I'm gonna let it ride. And boy, let it ride. I did. So yeah, 80K gain, guys. Great day, great job. I'm glad for you guys that did profit. Again, don't be greedy. Tomorrow's another day. Compounding is your friend. Um, don't forget that. So no need to be greedy. Another day will come. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and understand how that all went out process-wise and how important risk management is for you, and how it can make a major difference in your trading. A proper risk to reward, can easily trump a strategy, if you're, doing it right. So other than that, guys, I got to get back to it. I got stuff to do. And this is just a prime example of why, day trading, you trade even when you don't want to trade, unfortunately. Not even trade, you got to just sit there and learn. Screen time is important. Like I told you guys just on the last video yesterday, with my grandmother passing, I've been kind of out of sorts and didn't really want to trade too much. But I understand this is still kind of like a job. I still got to go ahead and put in that screen time and study and things like that and just kind of watch the market even when I don't want to. And sometimes this is kind of the result. So, I got a lot of things going on, and you as a trader, a normal person, you'll have that as well too. But the market is going to move with or without you. You got to understand that. So if you're putting in that time and you're putting in that effort and, trying to learn this ability, go all in. Don't come in there, especially for you new people, thinking that you're going to automatically become a great trader in 3 months, 6 months, a year or so. No, it takes time. It takes time. But as you can see, you stick with it, you know, it pays off. I literally just made someone's salary in less than 4 hours. It's crazy, but yeah, it happens. Gotta love the street. But other than that, guys, I'll be trading again. I'm not gonna probably trade tomorrow. It's Friday. Maybe I'll just go live and commentate for you guys. But it's gonna be a busy week next week for me. I have to go do stuff for my wedding, and I have to go. I won't be able to trade next Friday either because I will be at the funeral. Um, but yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. I'll try to get to them as quickly as I can. Again, I am still wrapping up other stuff for you guys with the tail end of that course, and just trying to get other things together just to make the trading experience a little bit more easier for you guys, especially in these hard times. But as you can see, even in these hard, rough markets, we're still green. And again, all I can do is point you guys in the right direction. You got to put in that effort. You got to want to actually do this. And it can't just be a one-time thing. This is work you're going to put in pretty much for the rest of your life. But you put it in, and you'll get the freedom that I get. So, but yeah, other than that, guys, stay green.
All right, guys, you know the routine. If you enjoyed that video, please do us a favor, show some support and hit that like button. Give us that thumbs up. Let us know if you enjoyed this content. Comment below. Let us know your thoughts. We love hearing from you as well, too. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions about anything whatsoever. Be more than happy to help you out. Until then, stay green.